Hello and welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisode. I'm Lene Gehrig and I'm here with my cameraman Houston, and we are excited to bring you new stamps from Hot Off the Press. So come play with us. So Hot Off the Press has brought us 5 new stamp sets, and these are a great smaller size stamp. As you can see, this first one is called Flowers and Ribbons stamp. Then we have the Floral Label stamp, In the Garden stamp, Fresh Flowers stamp, and the fun Steampunk stamp. So these are about 4.5 by 5 inches roughly, and they're a great size because they make the perfect card focal. They're great for coloring, and they're really wonderful to use with a stamping platform, stamping tool. Because they do have such a large surface that if you, it might be a little tricky to use your large stamping block with them, so I really recommend using a stamping platform. That's what I did when working on our samples today. So let me get to the first card here. This one is for the Flowers and Ribbons stamp. Bring that over here. And this is how I started this particular card. I went ahead and stamped the image on white cardstock, and then I cut it out. And it's got these wonderful cluster of flowers and then layers of ribbons. And I used the Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir pens, which are these new pens that we got, and I just love them. And they're really wonderful for doing this sort of ombre effect. So let me show you with the Coral pen. Here we go. So you start off with the darkest color. This one's Coral Blend, and this is the, this is the dark one right here on this end. So I'm starting with the dark at the top of this ribbon. What I love about this is that I think they're really foolproof. You just, for people who have trouble blending like me, these are great. Okay, so there's the dark, and then the next one is the mid. There we go. They're really not that hard. I'm just that weak. And then you go to the mid one, and it's just a slightly lighter shade. And then as I'm going, I kind of go up into the darker shade to blend that. Okay. There we go. Oh, I know why this is hard, because I have hand lotion on. There we go. So just don't wear hand lotion when you're crafting like I am, and you'll be fine. So this is the light shade. All right. And the same as with the mid, once you get this covered, then you just start going into that mid range color, and you're just blending, blending, blending like that. All right, so I want to do a little correction on that. You can always, oh wow, that was the inside core part, everyone. Okay, and I want to bring this darker color down a little bit more. I just wasn't pleased with how that turned out. So you just can't get it wrong, because it's easily correctable. Oh, the hand lotion is really causing me problems. See, I wanted my hands to like look nice and respectable while I was on camera, but not great for filming a demo. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm happy with that. I like that better. All right, so then what I did is I stamped this image 3 more times. Okay. Well, actually, I stamped this image twice, excuse me, for a total of twice. So then for the second image, I went ahead and I cut out just the flowers and colored those. And then I put foam tape on there and just did a layer right there. Okay, so you can see here I've got a nice little dimensional piece there. And then I just added a little yellow ribbon and then the Happy Birthday Dazzle at the bottom. It's a really easy card to make. The Dotted Duos #2 pack with the coral, I thought that was my inspiration for using the coral. So now once I've cut this away, I have an extra of just the ribbon. So that inspired me to do a journal. Okay, and what I did with that was I took the extra from cutting away the flowers here, and I had saved that. So I colored that using just regular Spectrum Noir pens and put that here, so it looked like this actually. It kind of went off the edge. So I did this 3 more times and went across, and then cut out another one and colored that and put that right there, and then did from our long script greetings dazzles, went ahead and did a love there and added a little sparkly purple ribbon here from our purple ribbons pack. So really fun, just taking a dollar store composition book and creating something fun. Use the dotted duos for the background. So just another fun idea. Also, I want to show you a card, oops, that Debbie made. This card is so beautiful, and there's quite a bit of technique going on here. So let me show you what Debbie did. Here's what this stamp looks like right here, and let me see which one this one is. This is the Fresh Flowers stamp set, or stamp. And what Debbie did was she stamped it on acetate. Now this is just regular acetate, it's not heat resistant acetate, and she stamped that with StazOn ink, okay? And then she colored the back side of it. So now you can't color the front side of it because the StazOn is an alcohol-based ink, and then if you use alcohol-based pens, it will disrupt that. But if you turn it over, okay, to the non-stamped side, whoops, I had it turned over, here we go. If you turn that over and you use your Spectrum Noir pens and you do a little coloring here, it's not going to disrupt that pattern at all. Let me put this under here so you can see. And we'll just do a little quick coloring so I can get on and show you this fun technique. Okay, so once again, I stamped it with StazOn on regular acetate. It's not necessary to use heat resistance because there's no heat here. And then I turned that over and I'm coloring it from the back side of the stamped image so that I'm not disrupting the stamped image, because we don't want these alcohol pens to lift off that ink. Okay. Let's color one of these flowers. Oh, and she even did the center, so we'll just go ahead and do that. And the thing is when you're coloring on acetate, it gives you this sort of translucent look, whereas if I colored this on cardstock, it gives a very saturated color. Okay, so you can see, I'm going to turn this back over. You can see that it gives a very translucent, almost a watercolor look with this. Okay, and then Debbie took a sheet of glitter, our glitter sheets, and these come, I believe, 5 to a pack. She just cut it down to a small size. Let's see if I can get this peeled off. There we go. All right, and she applied this over the front of the stamped image. Start at one end and just lay it down like that. Get all the air bubbles out of that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some just regular glue stick, and we're putting this, coating the back side of this. And then we're going to put that on the white cardstock. Get out those air bubbles again. Okay. Take some scissors. And then she went ahead, she cut out just the oval portion of the image through all the layers. using my nice, sharp, small scissors by Crafter's Companion. These are my new favorite little scissors. Okay, so then when this was done, she stamped the entire image again on white cardstock using a clear stamp like Versamark, okay? And then she gold embossed that. So right here, she stamped the entire image and then with Versamark, and then gold embossed that, okay? And then went ahead and put that image, of course, hers is all colored, okay? And put that right over the top of that. And then her background that she glued this entire image to used this 3D embossing folder by Creative Expressions, and this one's called Ribbon Swirls. So you can see that here, that she did that on the background with red cardstock. And then of course added some little red sparklets for some additional shine. Okay, so let's move on to the next card. Oh great, here's another card that Debbie did. This one he's using the center step card, which is my favorite. It's got great dimension there. Here's a blank center step card. They come in a pack, I believe 4 to a pack with envelopes, and they're just great, gives you a nice great work surface there. So here's what this image looks like stamped. This particular one is in the garden stamp. And Debbie colored these with La Plume pens, and then she stamped this image 2 more times and then cut out just the butterflies, and then colored those and used foam tape and put one on top of the other. You can see when you lift those up, there's just a little bit of foam tape there. It gives that wonderful dimension. See, so how pretty that is, just sitting on somebody's table with all that dimension on that card. That's really beautiful. And then she used on the center of this a little bit of the Cosmic Shimmer Sparkle Shaker. And that's just this little tiny bit of sort of gold glitter. Now the sparkle shakers are just glitter. They're not an embossing, not an embossing powder. So use a little Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue on that, and that just attaches that right on there really easily. Okay, let's get on to the next project. Here's one. Debbie also did this card, which is beautiful, and it uses, let me find the right one. This one is the floral label stamp. She used it horizontally here, and she did a little painting here after she stamped it with black embossing powder and then heat embossed that. And then she painted this using just a little watercolor brush, using both luster polish, and this one was raspberry sorbet luster polish, and also several opal polishes, and this one is lavender blue opal polish. So as you can see here, she used the raspberry here, and then this one's the lavender blue, and then she also used a few other colors. This was a turquoise. And for the full supply list, don't forget to click on the product page for this stamp, and you can get the full supply list for this. But I love how she just painted that on, and this card has a lot of sparkle with it. Let's see if we can show you that. Look at that. With the embossing, and it's just really beautiful. All right, so there's another couple of cards. This one's using the Steampunk stamp. Okay. So this card, here's the Steampunk stamp image. This card I also used the Triple Blend Spectrum Noir pens, and just this one uses the tan pen, and I just started on the outside edge with the darker and then worked my way into the center. It also uses a turquoise and a jade pen as well. I used the Seaside paper pack for this because I just really liked the maps on it and the distressed wood on that as well, and little script greeting down at the bottom. So this was just a traditional way to use this stamp, but I also wanted to show you that I used this one. This one is using only the clock works part of this stamp. So I stamped it on just craft colored cardstock, and then I cut this part out and just used this, and then I turned it so I used it like that. Okay, so I had this big portion of it that didn't have anything there. So from 49 and Market, I used their beautiful blue flowers. What color are these? These are Sea Breeze flowers. And once again, used the Seaside paper pack from Hot Off the Press for this. So really, it doesn't have an ocean feel to it at all, but I'm using Seaside paper pack and Sea Breeze flowers. So let me show you, when you're using this size of a stamp, we're going to do a little stamping using the Misty stamping platform. And I'll go ahead and I'll use the Steampunk stamp. There we go. Go ahead and close that to get it positioned. And as I said, because of the nice large size of these stamps, I just find that using the stamping platform just really gets it right, and I don't have to worry about missing any areas when I'm using my stamping block. Because with the stamping platform, you get sort of infinite number of chances to stamp this and get it right. There we go. How many of you like to stand up when you're stamping an image? I never have great luck when I'm sitting down for some reason. I don't know if it's the amount of pressure I put on, but I always find that I'm standing when I usually stamp. Okay, so you can see here, I've started to get my image, but there's some spaces here that I feel like I need to go back over. So I'm just going to ink this again, and because it's already positioned in the same spot, I can go over this as many times as I want until I'm satisfied with the quality of the image. I don't need to worry about lining it up. Yeah, that's good. But right there in the very center, I'm not really happy with the hands on the clock, so I'm going to try that part again. I might actually need to just stand up. I hope I don't hit my head on the boom. There we go. Ah, there we are. See, standing up made all the difference. All right, so there we go. Okay, so I really enjoy this larger cardfocal stamp size from Hot Off the Press. So give these a try. I know you're really going to enjoy them. As you can see, they're really versatile. So make sure you check out our money saver that's on the right side of the screen. You don't want to miss out that great price on these stamps. If you're watching us on YouTube, check out the links below for both the money saver, and it'll also take you to paperwishes.com so you can check out more ideas and more goodies. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week.